like there's an earthquake about to happen on his face. Plastic surgery gone wrong. You can still create realistic drawings with that one pencil. So ask my subscribers to send me photos of their drawings for me to roast them, and those who were brave enough, send them. So let's get roasted. Okay, so we are off to a positive start. This is a decent drawing, but the hair is too soft. Don't get me wrong, this is beautiful, but I think the hair could use a bit more detailing, a little bit more white strands and white highlights around the hair to show that the hair is actually kind of flowing, but decent work. Ooh, we have a colored portrait. No, let's try something. See this? Much better. Black and white is king. Okay, I'm kidding. Finally finished this one. It took me around 1 month to complete. This took you 1 month to complete. You see, if you had actually drawn black and white, so it would have taken you 1-2 days for you to finish. I'm kidding. I respect color pencil artists. First time using color pencil. Nah, you lie, bruh. You lie. First time using color and you create this? Well done, son. Respect. Now, what do you expect me to say? You bring work like this and you say I should roast you. Who should be roasting who? You should be roasting me. Look at the details of the hat, the contrast. The face is shaded in the right areas. Rather than go for the needless details, this guy went for simplicity. And all I can say is, people are creating good work, so you people are blowing my mind. I mean, can you? Okay, we spoke too soon. We have one from AKG Artwork. And bro, give him the shading he needs. You can see how he's even begging you. Shade me, please. And for the lips, all he just did was draw a line for the lips. And let me guess how long this took you to draw. 1 day, 2 days max. You did not spend any time on this, and it was just like a quick shade and then blend. The hair also, you cannot just expect that you can get realistic hair by just only drawing scribbles. There is a process involved, and I have a video on that also. Another one from the same guy, the same problem. He needs shading on the nose, the skin. The drawing is just white. So bro, we can see your problem now. You don't spend enough time shading, and the reason is because you may just maybe have one pencil to shade with, and if that is actually true, then the problem makes so much sense. You can already find the solution. Just use more pencils. And even if you don't have the capacity to get more pencils, even with that HB or 2B that you are managing, just that single pencil, you can still create realistic drawings with that one pencil by spending more time drawing. Okay, the last one did not shade enough. This one is shading too much. Finally done. Tell me how it looks. One word: rough. You see, you've shown that you have a good understanding of light and shadows, and even the hair drawing too is not bad, but the skin shading is rough. 2 reasons for this. 1, maybe because the paper you use is not good enough. When you use bad quality paper, the kind of shading it will produce can be rough. 2, the charcoal powder. You shaded with charcoal powder and you did not blend well with charcoal powder. And when you don't blend your charcoal powder very well, the results will not be nice. And the way you can just fix this is very simple. Just shade lightly with your charcoal powder. Like there should be no charcoal powder in the brush. Where's that brush again? Yes, that there should be no charcoal powder in the brush when you are shading, so that when you are shading very lightly. And what is going on with that baby's face? You spent time on the woman's face and then it got to the baby, and boy, did you mess up. I'm pretty sure that this is not how the reference photo looked like. I would advise you that you should draw the face using the grid method. Oh wait, you already used the grid method. You used the grid method, but the squares are too large. So they are not going to help much in getting the, intricate details of the baby's eyes and nose. So try to make your grid squares a bit smaller. Overall, it's not a bad drawing, but I think it lacks that. It looks more like a sketch than a full realistic portrait. Needs more contrast. You people should be shading the face now. There's no shading in this thing. Like for example, the head here can have shine and white in the middle, but the surrounding areas of the head should be shaded and have some shading there. But what do we have here? Plain white. And the chain, the necklace, is just in lines. You could add some shading to this. The proportion is completely off. Nobody's head is as flat as this. And the nose, bro, you have to draw what you see. And this is not how our nose looks like in the reference photo. Nobody's nose looks like this. I think this looks decent. The shadows is on point, the proportion looks accurate, it looks like a real human skull. But I think one thing that this is begging for are highlights. It needs highlights maybe on the forehead, on the teeth, and some other parts of the skull. It just looks a bit too dull and dark. And wait, what's that white thing in the eyes? Let me zoom in. Is that your signature? Bro, the last thing you want to do is use your signature to spoil a perfectly drawn masterpiece. You can place it at the bottom there, or if you're afraid of people cropping your drawing and reposting it as their own, you can just put your signature very close to the drawing there. But inside the eye of the skull, wrong place, bro. Wrong place. You must have spent time on this. I remember when I drew this hair nearly killed me. But I think what your drawing needs are shadows. Your drawing needs shadows. The dark parts is not dark enough, and the hair also feels kind of scanty. The reason for this is probably because there are too much white dots. You must have let some areas kind of white to denote the shine, but it's just too much. It now makes the hair feel scanty, like there's not much hair in the drawing. But it's a nice drawing, well done. Now our brother here was kind enough to leave a reference photo, and now we can now even compare better. And those wrinkles, damn, bro. See the drawing, see the reference. You just drew a dark line on his face, like his face is cracking, like there's an earthquake about to happen on his face. And those eyes are huge. You overemphasize their size in the drawing. The eyes also seem dead, maybe because you did not have the right kind of highlights to the eyes. See the eyes on the reference, see the eyes in your drawing. You can see it lacks depth, and I think you tried on this drawing, but it is still lacking. But don't worry, bro, you get there. Damn, plastic surgery gone wrong. Our head is huge. Try this, see this. Cover the body with your hand and try to observe the face. Now try to imagine the size of the body underneath your hand. Imagine that, picture that in your head. Now take away your hand. Now you can see what that looks like. It looks like a cartoon character. The head is just too big. And also the hands. You see, I feel your pain, bro. Hands are hard to draw, but this still needs some work. The shading is okay, I give you that. You can see the legs, you can see where the light is coming from, and you denoted that in your shading. The shading actually has some form, but it doesn't matter how great your shading is. Once you mess up the proportions of your drawing, you basically mess up the whole drawing. Why are their heads so big? I would have said use grids for your drawing so that the head will be the same size as the body, but you are already using grids. And for it to look like this, which means that you drew the grids but you did not follow the grids. These grid squares are not just for fancy. You need to notice how the squares interact with the reference photo and then replicate that on your own drawing. Okay, now some people are just showing off. This is a nice drawing, but one thing I can tell by looking at this shading is that the shading looks kind of blotchy. When you take a look at his head there, you can see a dark patch. That dark patch is just too hard. It's just too sharp and too dark. Look at the reference photo. I found the reference photo, and now you can see the patch in the reference photo is barely noticeable. It just blends with the skin, but your own is not that soft. One word for you, my bro: grid. Yes, use grid in your drawing. It will really help with your proportions. And don't just draw dots. There's a whole technique that goes into creating skin pores. I mean, you watch that video now, that's why you are recreating this kind of drawing. So look at that video, look at the way you create highlights and also shadows for your skin pores. Oh, we have another one that followed my drawing. It is clear that you did not follow the reference exactly. You added your own spin on it. It looks a little bit more cartoony, but it's actually nice. I like it. Okay, let's leave it at that. Of course, you know, all the jabs and all the puns and jokes are just for fun. I don't actually mean any of it. Or do I? I'm just joking. Anyways, you can avoid many of the mistakes shown in this video by just tweaking a few things in your drawings. And this video that shows up on the screen now will help you do just that. Watch that. Yes, that. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, no.